I want to bring in Congressman Tim Burchett. He sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Want to bring him in as we watch these live pictures and wait for the commander-in-chief to come out of Air Force One here, Congressman, as we just think about these service members and the sacrifice they've made and, you know, the warning from the president that this may not be it, that there could be more potentially service members that we lose as the fighting goes on. Share your thoughts with us.
Well, I couldn't help but think of my sweet mama who, to the day she died, when they played the national anthem, she would tear up and cry thinking about her brother Roy, who fought the Nazis and died while my daddy was in the Pacific in the Marine Corps fighting the Japanese. And mama went on to fly an airplane during the war, and she wasn't but a 17 or 18-year-old little girl from Cheatham County. And just her thoughts. I mean, she talked about her brother to the day she died, and before she went to meet Jesus. And she actually started talking to her brother Roy right before she left this earth. And I thought that was very sweet that the Lord allowed them to get back together. But, you know, this is something that will never leave them. So many folks like this, it happens, and it's very unfortunate. They take that oath. They know they're going to be put in harm's way. But I just pray and ask God to put his healing hand upon these folks, because it is not a pleasant thing for them or the president. And I just feel like they will never be healed from that. And again, it's a horrible thing, but it is the cost we pay in this country a lot of the times.
Yeah. You know, every time this happens, it's always a gut punch to me to see some of the ages of these service members. They're often, so many times, they're so young, congressmen, and they have a whole life ahead of them. And you have so much respect for their decision to go into the military and to know that they might be put in a situation like this. And their families, too, the sacrifices the families make. I've met with so many of those Gold Star families, and all they want to know is that their child sacrificed their life for something, right?
Absolutely. And that they did not die in vain, and and that's why I hope so much that we have peace in Iran. Those people need it. They've been waiting for it for decades. And frankly, the people that run Iran, they're ruthless. They're archaic. Their traditions, if you will, are nothing like ours. A woman gets raped over there and they stone her. A little girl has the audacity of putting a little makeup on. They'll gouge their eyes out. A little boy will put a tweet out they don't like. They'll hang him. You know, these people that they're demonic, to say the least. And here comes our great president now, and I know he is grieving.
Here's the president now, Congressman. We're watching live pictures now of the president walking down the steps here off of Air Force One as he gets ready to greet the families, meet with them, now Gold Star families of these service members who gave their life for this mission that we just went into about a week ago and continue now as our troops take incoming fire every single day in those air bases, military bases all across the Gulf, keeping themselves, trying to keep safe in bunkers, trying to shelter as Iran continues to throw everything at them. This is the president shaking hands now with folks from the military as he's welcomed now to Dover Air Force Base. And you can see Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is right next to him, shaking hands as well as the president gets into the beast there. Congressman, this week, 53 Democrats, 53 House Democrats voted against declaring Iran a state sponsor of terrorism. And that included people like AOC, Ilhan Omar. These are people the president calls the Iranian regime is what the president calls very sick people. It's what he called them earlier today. Make sense of this. How can anyone at this moment, as we are bringing home the bodies, the remains of our soldiers, vote against something like this?
Ma'am, you can't make sense of it. That's why these midterm elections are so important. I can't decide which they hate more. Is it our great country or our president? Because they just thumb their nose at American tradition all up and down the line. These people are openly Marxist. They want this country to be destroyed. They want to create some sort of woke-utopia in their image. and it just doesn't work. It hasn't worked throughout history, and it won't work in America. But I think America better wake up and realize that the Democrat Party, it's not President Kennedy's Democrat Party, and it's not even President Clinton's Democrat Party. Obama started us down this path towards Marxism, and I feel like that's where we're headed right now. And we better wake up. We're allowing this stuff to infiltrate our schools, everywhere else, in our public education. And you're seeing good teachers leave because of this. They're being forced to teach things that they don't believe in. And we're reaping what we sowed, and we've sowed a lot of discontent. The truth is, ma'am, America is a gift from God. He has given us something incredible with democracy and capitalism, and we can provide for our people if we're just allowed to do it. But these folks that we have in the Democratic Party right now, ma'am, they hate this country and they want to destroy it as we know it. And we better wake up. When they tell us what they're getting ready to do and they show us with these votes, we better start believing them, or we'll wake up and dadgum, it'll be all over.
Yeah. Well, it would be nice if everyone could be unified when it comes to the troops and making sure they're safe and they have everything that they need. We will continue to watch, and we'll bring you live pictures of the president, as he meets with those Gold Star families. Congressman Burchett, thank you so much for joining us on this breaking news.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Please pray for our country.
Much more ahead.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.